This is the Finesse Media Podcast.
But remember, Gutbusting Tuesday, Saw Productions. We out here at Daytona 1 Sports Bar. One of the dopest shows on a Tuesday night. Hosted by me and Marlon Mitchell.
God dog, and I'm bringing you someone brand new, and we've been rocking Chicago, folks, all season long, by the way. But joining me for the first time on the Finesse Media Podcast, Season 4, make some noise and show some love for my Chi-Town big bro, Sakun Walker, the CEO and founder of SAW Productions, which is holding it down. We had my brother, legendary comedian Damon Williams on it. We talked about my brother Sakun, so having him on as a finesser is certainly well overdue, I would say. So again, welcome to the podcast for the first time. My brother Sakun Walker, gratitude, bro. What's up, man?
Man, thank you for having me, man. It's an honor to be on your podcast, brother. Thank you for reaching out to me, man. I'm just pushing, brother, trying to keep things going, man. You know what I mean?
Dude, you moving like heck. And so as I was saying as an intro with Damon Williams, and we talked about you on, and I just showed that clip. Dude, you have consistently brought comedians together. And for what I know, you're not even a damn comedian.
Right. Absolutely not. I leave that to them, brother. You know what I mean? I have my sideways shit, but I don't get out like that. I'm not going to touch that stage. You know, I just introduce them. But yeah, man, it's an honor to produce shows. It's an honor to have them guys come out and bless my stages. I'm honored. I'm humbled. And I'm grateful for this process and progress, brother.
For sure. And as I said, SAW Productions CEO and founder, I know what it is. I know how long you've been doing it. Well, I don't know actually how long you've been doing it. I know how long I've been familiarizing myself with the brand. Tell the people, my viewers, about SAW Productions, what that is and what you bring to the people.
Okay, so I'm going to just put a zoom.
There you go.
At SAW Productions.
Hey, so real quick before you drop into that, because it is orange and for my Chicago viewers as well. Is that in tune with the Soldiers at War?
And I'm glad you touched on that because I was going to touch on that anyway. Actually, it's not. What happened is we just happen to have similar acronyms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've birthed this maybe 19, 20, maybe even longer than that. So we kind of came into birthing process around the same time. However, they brand kind of took off before mine did. I wasn't really pushing like I was because my acronym represents my name. Yeah. So it's Sakun, I'm Moonwalker. Yeah. I've always had that. So when I got into more comedy, into producing and promoting, I started unfolding it more with respect to the brother, because theirs is just SAW. I'm SAW Productions. You know what I mean? And so there's a little difference in
and they Soldiers at War too. So their acronym means Soldiers at War. Yours is your name. So
and we've discussed it because they saw the strength of SAW Productions, and I've gotten some calls, you know, and we've discussed it. So we're clear. You know, we understand and respect it, man. So yeah, but I've actually been doing this for maybe, I'm gonna say it's almost 20 years, man. Putting people on the stage, and I got to give homage and praise to my man Marlon Mitchell. And the reason for that is because Marlon Mitchell is an ambassador, the mayor of Chicago comedy outside of Damon. That brother there is one of my best friends. I'll put like that, in my business partner. So years ago, you know, he's been doing comedy for a while. I mean, I'm gonna say maybe 30 years he's been in the game. And one day he just came and approached me and said, brother, you know, I need your help. You know, why don't you, rock some tickets for me for a show? Okay. So I'm like, I got you. So I ended up selling, and this before I even really got into the field, you know, per se. So I ended up rocking out a show for him and selling it with no problem. He's like, God damn. All right, we tried the next one. Then we went, hey, do this next one for me. So I did it and rocked it out again. So at that point, he kind of put a bug in my head. A couple other people said, hey, man, you might need to go ahead and just run with it and put your own show together. Yeah. Because I was aiding him in a couple of shows, General Persuasion, where he was going. That was one of them. And then to give you the facts, my first big show was Damon Williams was on that show. That's what's up. That's what's up. And blessed me with that. And we rocked it, man. From that point on, it's been on and rocking, man. It's been a beautiful journey, brother.
20 years finessing the game, SAW Productions. Yeah. I'm telling you, one of the cool things about SAW Productions, and I don't know if I see this in other cities, and I talk with Damon and many other comics like Lil Rel about the culture of comedy in Chicago is totally different. The scene for comedy is different. With Damon, he brought me back to not just only Jokes and Notes, but oh my goodness, it was another one. I couldn't remember, but
all jokes aside,
that's exactly what it was. And so with the comedy scene in Chicago, it's in your front room, it's in like a banquet hall, it's in the back of a restaurant. And so that's what every week it is, every Thursday. And then you packing it out on weekdays, bro. You have people in there, sold out shows with comics, Chicago comics. Some I'm sure come from other, nearby surrounding areas. But dude, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you packing that place out.
Right. Oh, absolutely, man. That's Day 21 out in Calumet City. We getting it down every Tuesday. Actually, we did a run. Just got to give a little more history on that. I was rocking with Miss Mary Lindsay at Jokes and Notes on 46 in King Drive. I ran that room for about 6 years 8 years on a Thursday, rocking out on Thursdays. And we just been getting in, man. So Tuesdays is been a blessing, brother. And I'm grateful. I got to always give homage to the comedians because they don't have to come out. You know what I mean? I think I built my rapport and my straightforwardness with them to where they trust that, I got them, number one. And two, that, we got a bond, a relationship that is of respect, and they're going to get taken care of. So
you're still in my thunder. Man. You're still in my thunder. I got cue cards, and I promise you not. You would have think something. You have read my cue cards, dude. That's exactly my next question. Like, how do you build these relationships with these new and upcoming comedians, but also some of the legends, like we mentioned, Little Rel, Damon Williams, Marlon Minshew. Tell me some more. I mean, not only just the males. I want to give out a shout out to Jess Niece, Miss Sherelle. I mean, people. Buff Bay. Shout out to Buff Bay, who's a friend to the show. I mean, dude, you have built relationships with comics. Once again, man, you're funny. You're a natural talent. You know what I mean? We had conversations. It's been a while for sure. So I'm being real. But dude, you've built relationships with comics. And so for how long, I can't tell you, but what is that like with having these comics to be able to come back in Chicago when they leave Chicago to still say, I'm rocking with Sakoon, being at, whatever it's at, like you said.
Well, it's about your word, you know what I mean? And ensuring that whatever agreement you make, you hold your word. Yeah. And that's me. That's as simple as that. I'm going to hold my word. I treat everyone with respect, mutual respect, and I demand or I command respect in the same token. So when you carry yourself in such a light, that light have no choice but to shine, and you're going to reciprocate that. You're going to get that back. And I'm grateful for that. I speak that in humility. And I can say that confidently because these brothers and sisters have shown me nothing but love with the respect I've shown them. You know what I mean? So I can just keep it as that. My word is everything. You know what I mean? If there's ever a problem or any issue that may have happened, I'm always communicating that. And we're going to keep moving forward. So, I mean, I have a great track record in this game, and it's going to stay that way because I understand the principles of keeping your word in any agreement with anybody. So therefore, they'll come out and just fuck with me just for the hell of it because, hey, I know this is a good dude. He run a good business. I run a great professional show. Ain't no bullshit. You know what I mean? And we just gonna keep it 100 and going forward. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what it is. Your word is your bond. And shout out to he's not a comedian, but he's also a Chicagoan who's doing big things. I wish to have him on the show next season. But JB, he's on production, so he's on the grooming set with a lot of the production in Chicago. But this brother had always told me when you walk up in a room and when you meet people, one thing that you only have is your name, and that you hope that people don't forget your name. And so when he walk in spaces, and he said that when he would meet people, he will always say, look, don't forget my name, because they can say, yeah, that guy that do that, that such guy that, he do some comedy and he be having comedians. But when they say Sakoon Walker for, for SAW production, that's a different kind of reception. I think that when people hear it, they really saying your name, and for sure, your name and your word is your bond. And thinking of a bond and going straight into just outside of you being a businessman consistently, dude, I must respect you as also a brother in the name of fatherhood. And the brother, man, listen, you have consistently shown, shout out to Nisha, man. I know she's watching. Nisha, man, listen, this brother has stood by your side. I mean, when I met y'all, it seemed like y'all were together for a decade, but you've been a family man. You've been a husband, man, consistently, while also doing this for Chicago people, putting folks on, being very selfless. Talk to my viewers of how that is sometimes challenging while being a family man, but still also bringing in outside family and to bring a comedy, and making that still work for you, because it's a work-life balance for you.
It really is. And you said the key word, challenging. It's definitely a challenge, but it has to take that individual that's rolling with you to understand the progress and the process, and trusting the process, and understanding what is the goal, what is the end goal, what are we trying to get, what are we trying to make happen. And it's a challenge because I can't sit up there and lie to you and say that we haven't had our.
Because I mean, the comedy shows don't start to 7 to 8. But shout out to your wife. Shout out to your wife because she's also a supporter, and that's also a huge thing too, right? So you're in this thing, and she's not like where you are and you know what you're doing. She knows where you're at because she's in the building.
Absolutely. I mean, she comes out when she can, makes it. If she's not doing her business, doing what she do, she's definitely gonna come out and support. And even if she's not there, she's definitely gonna spread the word and make it happen. We built that, man. You know what I mean? And she saw that I admit my heart is in it because for me, comedy is about healing. That is the base for me. It's the healing process. I saw when I see people sitting there laughing, enjoying themselves. Getting away from day-to-day life, the process of dealing with their family, the job, the bosses, and be able to just let go, that meant so much to me, brother. And I understand also on the science side of it, the endorphins that are released, that's a healing process. And many people take that for granted. The healing laughter is a number one healer. So I pride myself in that. For me, the money's been good. I can't complain, but it ain't about the money. It's about the people. It's about the people. And when you give the people something that can nurture and nourish them, you're going to build, what you call that, empire. Lack of a better term, you'll build it. So I'm grateful, brother. And I'm grateful
I know you, Sakun, now well over a decade, man, and you haven't aged a freaking bit. And I think that's what I was going to ask you, like, dude, what's the hell? Because I mean, I'm like you. I mean, you got the boys. I got 3 kids. I mean, so we got our tribe of kids. So.
And my daughter. Don't forget the girl.
And your girl, right? You got your daughter, girl. But no, I said I have the boys, but you have the tribe. You got the girl. But it's sometimes pressuring again, being a dad, being a husband, also being an entrepreneur, and sometimes that wear on you. But dude, you ain't got a wrinkle over there. But it's the laughter, though.
It's the laughter, but and not only that, since you touch on that, it's not just the laughter.
All right,
it's also what you do in your day-to-day life to balance out this run that we do, steady going. How are you eating? Are you drinking plenty of water? For me, and I say this humbly, at least a gallon of water a day. And then positive thoughts, because you're gonna have those challenges, man. I mean, you know this. You out here running around. You doing what you doing. I'm proud of you, brother. And I thank you, man, for doing. I'm proud of you. Just keep doing what you're doing. So water, dieting, making sure we put the right things in our body, fasting, not over consuming anything. You know, being moderate in whatever that we do. So it's a challenge. And I gotta throw this in there. In this process, myself being running for alderman put another light on this situation. I ran for alderman back in 2011. That process also taught me humility. It taught me balance. You know what I mean? So when you head into the point of stand, at least, and I take that, I think, I don't know how I may appear, but I receive that.
Yeah, for sure.
Those things that I do in terms of exercising, eating right as best I can. I mess up here and there, but I just, try to maintain a healthy life, brother. Physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially.
That's what's up. No, that full circle balance. I mean, you certainly want to make sure that the inside is just as good as the outside, and also that circle of people that's around you too. So you're surrounded by good people, like you said, Marlon Mitchell. Shout out to Francis, because that's a legendary spot in Chicago. I don't know if that spot's still open. Forgive me, because I'm in Dallas.
Oh no, it's definitely still open and thriving, man. 50 plus years in business, man.
Popping.
And we still.
I'm gonna take a sip off Mother Francis. I'm gonna take a sip from Mother Francis.
All praise to her spirit. And we actually have a cruise coming up for Francis, cocktail cruise on Anita D on July 10th coming up.
Okay.
So we celebrating this, man. Mama have left a legacy. Yes, Marlon is carrying a torch. It's a beautiful journey, brother.
Yeah, no, Marlon Mitchell, he is certainly living his mother legacy. Before I get up out of here, and each and every week, Sakun, I ask my finesser, that's you, my brother, that person that's finessing the game. But I want to know, because you're someone that's finessing the game, but who's that person for you that you look towards or you look at that say that person is finessing the game?
That's an excellent question. That's finessing the game. Yeah. I can name a few, man. I mean, in particular in the comedy world, you're not just stopping there, are you? No, it's actually anybody. And I've said to my last guest, people have said products before, I kid you not. So it's literally when that thought comes to mind, who's finessing the game, or the what product, I guess, is what's finessing the game. But usually if people kind of think of one person that's finessing the game for them. Well, see, I'm going to say this, man, and I'm going to say this with all due respect and humility. and I have to do this. You know what I mean?
I feel it coming. I think I already hear it.
Yeah, for me, that's a broad statement, finessing the game, right?
All right.
And I have to do this. My mother, I got to give her homage. My father, I got to give him homage.
Mm-hmm.
They're finessing the game. My children, my mate, they're finessing the game because my children also have a group that, remember that Saw Production is just not dealing in comedy. We manage artists. And I'm right now managing my boys, which is PhD boys. And outside of that, Maxine's Boutique, the store that I'm running, the store that I own, is finessing the game.
That's what's
Danny
up.
Williams finessing the game. Marlon Mitchell finessing the game. JD finessing the game. Just Words, one of my DJs finessing the game. I'm going on, man. I don't want to get the name throwing because I forget some people and I don't want nobody getting mad at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But everybody I have worked with, and I say this humbly and respectfully, is finessing the game, and they know who they are, man. And I give homage and respect to them, you know?
That's what's up. No,
I had to start out first, my mother and my father, because those are the ones who brought me to this life. And they definitely finessing the game because they're doing great things, great works. And also, the major finesses are my ancestors in the divine spirit, brother.
For sure.
I know I went off course, but that's just
no. You on course. You right in the car. You haven't changed lanes. You ain't jump out the car. You are right on course, man. And a lot of what you said, Sakun, man, we got to chat too, man, because that is like almost nostalgic. A lot of what you said, I remember just having conversations and just hearing you. And I was probably 10 years younger now, right? So now I'm like, 10 years now. I need that again, man, because the knowledge that you always had, talking to you, it wasn't just seeing you, it was also just talking to you, and that love has always been there. And so even for the Hodge family, for your family, man, has always continued to support me too. So that's Absolutely. What I always love. That love has never left. So we've always been connected for sure. So for people that's not familiar with you, but now with this episode, they are familiar with you and they want to keep up with you, for Sakun, how they can keep up with you.
All right, well, we can go with my Instagram at Saw Productions. Facebook, Sakun Walker. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Saw Productions. That's pretty much where I'm at in terms of the social media. Yeah. Reach me there. With the cruise we got coming up. So anybody want to get on the Anita D, July 10th, make sure you hit me up, Saw Productions, Sakun Walker, and get your ticket because the tickets go on sale tomorrow for the Anita D. That's July the 10th. And that's going to go from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It's going to be super dope. It's going to be a comedy. We're doing a full comedy. All-star comedians from across the nation going to hit it. So it's going to be super dope. That's the next project. Outside that, I have a big show coming up in September. That's going to be a Labor Day show. And I'm also dedicate that to my man, Marcus Combs, who transitioned last week sometime. That was a heavy hit on the comedy world. I got to give peace and light to his spirit and just his family. That brother was an amazing comedian, amazing brother, amazing father, amazing friend. So I want to give a shout out to him. That show that I'm doing in September is going to be dedicated to him. And the reason I chose that is because last September he did my big show. So I got to give that one to him. And he always rocked out with me with all of my big shows and killed it all the time, consistently.
That's what's up. One last question that comes to mind when we think about legends and souls that miss. I'm thinking about our late great Uncle Bernie from Chicago. Are there any living comedians that you wish, or not wish, but I wouldn't say wish, but any comedians that you would like to work with, that would like to, not even Chicago comedians, but comedians that you would like to work with and bring onto set in Chicago?
You know who I would like to work with? There are two that come to my head that I want to personally work with, and I will work with sometime soon. Is Dave Chappelle and Eddie Griffin. Okay. I want to work with them two guys because of their spirit, their comedy. They are truly geniuses in the game. Now, those are two that I definitely have on my radar for soon. But there's a lot of other cats that I have yet to work with that's not in Chicago or either just outside. Because I work with a lot of other comedians that's outside of the state. I work with a lot. I work with a lot of them. You name I'm down there work with them. But them two brothers on my head, I need to connect with, and we will connect soon.
That's what's up. Well, so cool, man. I want to connect with you next season because with those projects that's going to be rolling out throughout the summer, I would love to have you back for season 5 to talk about it, give us an update, what was happening throughout the summer, because I appreciate you, man, for taking your time out. I know last time I said, listen, if we can reschedule, I know on Friday may not be good because it's popping in Chicago comedy, but it's popping each and every week and every day in Chicago with comedy because it doesn't take a Tuesday or even a Saturday night to pack out a place. If it's a cool Productions, if they know your brother, they are in the building for sure. For sure. Yes, I used to call Kelly and say, look, did you get me a ticket?
Yes, sir.
She's like, yeah. Nisha said, we good. We can walk
right. Absolutely. I appreciate you, brother. It's always been love.
Always love, man. Gratitude, my brother.
Yes,
Sakun Walker, thank you, my brother, for joining me on this episode tonight. Wrapping up season 4. I would love again to have you back in season 5.
Anytime.
But for sure, my brother, keep finessing the game in Chicago, holding it down. SAW Productions as he see it, as he show it on the screen. Keep finessing the game, my brother. And you've been watching another episode of the Finesse Media Podcast, season 4. I'm your host, Ken Finesse Media, and I'll see you next week with something brand new. Peace. Gratitude, man.
The greatest advice that I have been given was by my mom, and I'll go back to it. There's no one greater than you except God.
Yes, ma'am.
And as long as you keep that in your mind, you can make it through anything. You can obtain anything you want to. Now, here's the problem. When you start thinking that someone's greater than you, I mean, where can you go? Because you think somebody's greater than me. Absolutely not. I don't care how much education they may have, and I honor that. Because it took discipline to get where you are. I don't care how much money. Again, it took discipline to be where you are. However, that's for them. And I'm proud of them. I honor them. But at the same token, we all have the same basic needs.
Absolutely.
We have to eat. We have to wash our bodies. We have to go to the bathroom. And when we die, we die. Life stops. So you're not going to do any more than I can do. So I tell people, do what you need to do for you. Just keep God first.
Keep God first
in your life.
Thank you.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
This has been another edition of the Finesse Media Podcast. Join us again next week for the latest news from HBCUs. Special guest